I call Matt Ducey.
Thank you very much, Mr Speaker. An honour and pleasure to rise in support of the first reading of the resource legislation bill. I must start off, Mr Speaker, by acknowledging the very pragmatic response and support of the Labour Party for this bill. At least I can understand the Green Party caring about the planet but not wanting to live on it. But I'm very bemused with New Zealand First not voting for but not voting against. I say to Mr O'Rourke, get off the fence, get off the fence. Are you for? Are you against? They call themselves New Zealand First. They're not putting New Zealand first, Mr Speaker. They're putting their own interests first. Because it's this side of the House that's sticking up for hard-working New Zealanders, Mr Speaker. And it's this reform bill that is supporting hard-working New Zealanders. Because if you look at three key outcomes this year, whether it be the highest workforce participation rate ever, if you look at the positive GDP growth, the return to surplus, that's all about backing hard-working New Zealanders. It's hard-working New Zealanders that delivered those outcomes, and this RMA reform bill will support hard-working New Zealanders. Right. So get off the fence, New Zealand First. Mr Speaker, when we look at the Canterbury earthquake response, there's a lot of lessons that run parallel to this bill, Mr Speaker. We know that we lost about 18,000 houses, and in response we had the Land Use Recovery Plan, which freed up land, increased supply, which equaled demand. And there was real lessons in that, Mr Speaker. If you look at average annual house price inflation, a bit over 10% nationally, Canterbury at about 5.5%, but Waimakariri specifically, only 3.5% annual house price inflation. And when you look at Waimakariri, third fastest growing electorate by population. We've just taken over from Invercargill as the third biggest district in the South Island by population, yet only 3.5% annual house price inflation with all that urban growth. And what we did, Mr Speaker, is freed up land, which increased supply, which equaled demand. And under this bill, Mr Speaker, local councils will be more economic, they'll be more efficient and effective in matching residential growth to land use. So wholeheartedly support this bill, Mr Speaker, and looking forward to hard-working New Zealanders having their say in the select committee process. Thank you.
Members, this debate has concluded. The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. No. The ayes have it. No. Party votes called for. Ask the clerk to conduct a party vote.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
31 votes in favour.
Green Party.
12 votes opposed.
New Zealand First.
12 abstentions.
Maori Party.
2 votes in favour.
ACT New Zealand.
1 opposed.
United Future.
1 opposed.
Members, the ayes are 92, the noes are 14, abstentions are 12. The motion is agreed to.
Resource Legislation Amendment Bill, first reading.
The question now is that the Resource Legislation Amendment Bill be considered by the Local Government and Environment Committee. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. To the contrary, no. The ayes have it. Call on Government Orders of the Day, numbers 3 to 5.
Social Security Amendment Bill, third reading. Education Amendment Bill, third reading. Taxation Support for Children in Hardship Bill,